The area now known as Severance was originally inhabited by Kansa, Native Americans, whose name influenced the nearby Kansas River. European American settlement began in the mid-1850s amid the Bleeding Kansas era, when pro-slavery and free state forces clashed over whether Kansas would enter the Union as a slave or free state. The town site was platted in 1868 by local farmer and businessman John Severance, after whom it was named, as part of Doniphan County's push for railroad access and agricultural development, railroad boom and incorporation, 1870s, 1880s. The arrival of the Atchison and Nebraska City Railroad in the 1870s transformed Severance from scattered farms into a thriving grain shipping hub. Officially incorporated as a village in 1878, it featured a depot, general stores, a post office, established 1871, and a school. The population peaked around 300 by the 1880s, supported by wheat, corn, and livestock farming in the fertile Loess Hills soil, making it a classic example of Midwest railroad towns, agricultural stability and community growth. 1890s, 1940s. Severance weathered economic ups and downs, including the 1890s depression, by focusing on family farms and local cooperatives. Key institutions emerged, such as the Methodist Church, built 1892, and a consolidated school district. The town avoided major disasters but benefited from New Deal programs in the 1930s, which improved roads and electricity. World War II brought temporary labor shortages but reinforced its role as a quiet rural community. Post-war decline and modern challenges, 1950s, 1990s. Like many small Kansas towns, Severance faced population loss as mechanized farming reduced labor needs and youth migrated to cities. The railroad ceased passenger service in the 1950s, and freight followed by the 1980s, leading to business closures. By the 1990 census, only about 100 residents remained. The town maintained essentials like a fire department and community hall but shifted toward bedroom community status for nearby Troy and St. Joseph, Missouri. Contemporary era and preservation efforts, 2000s. Present today, Severance is an unincorporated community with around 80 to 90 residents, per recent estimates, focused on preserving its heritage through events like annual reunions and the Doniphan County Historical Society. It lacks a formal government but retains a post office and volunteer services. Challenges include rural depopulation and flooding risks from the Missouri River tributaries, yet residents highlight its peaceful, historic charm in the Glacial Hills region.